Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So tonight we're going to talk about government's relationship with the environment. And I don't just mean the U.S. government, although it's going to be part of the example. I mean all governments in general. The environment's always a secondary concern. It's very rarely the primary. On July 10th, 1985, there was a boat down in New Zealand. It was called the Rainbow Warrior. It was down there to draw attention to a French nuclear test. The French government didn't like this very much. They didn't want people talking about it. So French intelligence blew it up. Killed somebody in the process. That's not a conspiracy theory. They got caught, pled guilty, went to prison. It happened. In a less dramatic way, there's something very similar happening in the United States right now. Recently, the president gave a press conference of sorts in which he proclaimed himself a land protector. Conservationists all over the world just stared at their TV in utter confusion. This administration has rolled back so many environmental regulations. I was going to list them, but we don't have that kind of time. It's insane. It's an immense list. But Cliff Notes, he's overseen the largest rollback of federal land protections in history. He tossed out the idea of opening the entire coastline of the United States up to offshore drilling, while simultaneously getting rid of the safety regulations that help prevent spills. He killed the moratorium on leasing federal lands to the coal industry. Squashed regulations about the disposal of coal ash. Rolled back so many clean water regulations, I don't even know where to begin. So, yeah, it's doublespeak. Politicians saying one thing and doing another. That's kind of normal. It's kind of normal. But at the same time this is going on, federal agencies are currently scrubbing all references to climate change. Because, well, can't have you talking about it. Kind of like bombing that boat. The test is going to happen. Climate change is going to happen. We just don't want people talking about it. So, yeah, it's normal. Politics as usual. But this is done with malice. There's no debate about whether or not climate change is a thing. There's some debate, although not vigorous debate, over whether or not it is man-made or man-assisted, or whether or not it's natural. You can debate that if you'd like, but at the end of the day, it's happening. The Pentagon is drawing up plans to deal with it. It's a national security threat, but you're going to be denied the information you need to deal with it, because contrary to the very popular fiction, government's not here to protect you. It's not a protectorate, it's a government. It's there to govern you, to maintain control and maintain power. And that's what it's about. Back in 1985, it was about military power. So that's why they bombed the boat. But today it's different. We don't colonize anymore with flags and guns. We do it with corporate logos. We engage in cultural colonization as we rip whatever we can out of the ground. It's worth noting that while he gave this press conference, he was flanked by a former oil lobbyist and a former lobbyist for the coal industry. It's something we need to keep in mind as the environment gets politicized, because the environment as a whole doesn't have any money, but the oil and coal industry do. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.